Hello everyone, it's me, Alex from Primetime Miniatures. As I have to continue with my Blood Angels army, it's now Lemartes' turn. The model Lemartes from Games Workshop is a success. A really cool model. In this video I will show you how I painted the model quickly and easily. However, I wanted to try something new and decided to try OSL. The first step was to paint the model black. I used Vallejo game color charcoal for this. I haven't assembled the base, shoulder and head yet because it was easier for me to paint them separately. You can also paint these parts black. Next I mixed some white into the black paint to achieve a light grey tone. I sprayed this very lightly and sanded it onto my model with my airbrush. I would be carefully with the amount here, otherwise it will quickly look grey instead of black. This step is optional and is not always necessary with black paint. Now we can highlight the model. Edge highlighting is the magic word here. I mix charcoal and white in a 1:2 ratio to emphasize as many edges as possible. As always, I also dab this in specific spots to make the armor look more warm. For the edges that need more to be emphasized, you can also use more white. Now we paint the metallic parts. For this I use Vallejo metal color dark aluminium. However, you can also use lead belcher from Games Workshop. When the paint is dry, I immediately wash it with non-oil to tone down the shine. Now we paint the left shoulder. I use my Piston red here. I recommend working with thin layer to get an even surface. I shouldn't have glued the shoulder on either. That would have saved me a lot of time. As the next step, we'll paint all the blood drops on the armor. I painted black first. Then I painted the lower half with corn red so that a little black is still visible. Then I repeat these steps with Piston red and White Rider red, so that the previous color always remains slightly visible. I showed this process in more detail in another video, and I will link it to you. Next I'm going to try something new. I wanted to try OSL. OSL stands for Object Source Lightning and means that it painted in such a way as to represent the light coming from one or more sources on the model itself. Here I use white ink to paint the gaps of the armor. Next I mix the contrast color Magma Draw Flame from Games Workshop 1:1 with water and painted the white areas. For the inner areas I use Imperial Fist to make the heat look more realistic. Doesn't look that bad considering it's my first time trying it. Now I want to create the same effect under the helmet. To do this I carefully spray white onto the spot with my airbrush. Then I take the same contrast color and spray it onto the spot to create this light effect. Now we come to the shoulder and helmet. I first painted these with Rhinox hide and then I sprayed them with Sentry Dust to create a bony look. If you want to do it quickly, you can stop after this step. However, I wanted to go a bit further and shaded it with Arcrux Earthshade to bring more shadows into the play. I then painted the areas I wanted to highlight again with Sentry Dust and also mixing a little bit Screaming Skull to emphasize the areas such as the skull. I also painted the eyes on the helmet. I used the same technique here as with the armor. I painted the eyes white and then later painted them with Magma Draw Flame to create a nice glow. To improve the OSL effect even more, I spray pure Magma Draw Flame from the bottom with my airbrush. This will make the whole thing look even more interesting. With a brush, however, I would dilute it and apply it slowly. Now we can paint the red angel crest. First I painted black. Then I add a little white and paint the outer area so that the black is still lightly visible. Then I mix in a relative large amount of white and repeat the step until I'm satisfied. You can then highlight the edges with pure white. I keep the weapons relatively simple. I dry brush the pistol with a metallic paint, and for the other weapon I use Retributor armor from Games Workshop. Then I shade the gold with Arcrax Earthshade and paint the rest of the stuff. Now we can paint the jetpack drive. First I paint it with white and then I paint it with magma drop flame like the other OSL effects. You can take your time here, but I wanted to keep the mini maximum to 1 to 2 hours. I also kept the base very simple. I dry brushed it with Dawnstone from Games Workshop, and at the end I mixed in a little white to emphasize the edges even more. And that it's again. I finally finished Lemartes. I hope he can soon lead my Blood Angel armies to victory against the heretics. There are a few techniques here that can certainly be improved and used in much greater detail, but I want to keep the painting time in a minimum. That was actually the reason why I started a YouTube channel. Quick and effective painting with good results. I hope I was able to help you, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye!